All right, so I want you guys to imagine that I'm the US government, and this is China, and I just walked in and I found them inside my house.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like and subscribe, leave a comment. You could click off the video. Don't actually do that. I spent all day editing this. So everybody knows what TikTok is, right? It's a fun and simple to use video app that kept everybody engaged while we were stuck inside for 12 months.
Can't beat it. You gotta figure out how to talk to women.
I was just thinking, like, this is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't really want to be doing this with
is
you.
too romantic. I mean, if you wanted to kiss, we could, but...
Equipped with a vast array of sounds, special effects, and filters, and an algorithm that knows you probably better than you know yourself, it's no surprise why the app became the powerhouse that it is today. But around mid-2021 was one of the first times that it was brought to the attention of the US government that the terms and conditions of the app were riddled with a bunch of legal jargon that basically gave TikTok access to tons of users' personal data. So much so that the US deemed it a security risk. Reason being that although TikTok does not operate within China, its parent company ByteDance resides there. The problem being that the CCP basically requests that social media companies that work within its country give them backdoor access to all of those companies' data.
Here's the main point of concern. China's 2017 national intelligence law states very clearly that, quote, any organization or citizen shall support, assist, and cooperate with state intelligence work in accordance with the law and maintain the secrecy of all knowledge of state intelligence work. In other words, ByteDance and also your TikTok employees that live in China, they must cooperate with Chinese intelligence whenever they are called upon. And if they are called upon, they're bound to secrecy. That would include you.
If you know anything about US and Chinese relations, you could see why this was a scary thing for the US government. This knowledge was anything but taken lightly. They went as far as banning US government employees and members of the US military from using the TikTok app. And ever since this information came out, we've seen story after story after story, the US government basically planning on banning TikTok as a whole. And it's starting to look like TikTok's time in the US may actually finally be coming to an end. The Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act is a bill with the goal of giving the president the ability to ban any applications found to be controlled by enemies of the United States. Sorry, I didn't actually remember off the top of my head what it was. I had to look down real quick. Now, this bill does not explicitly state TikTok will be banned. This bill is pretty much going after every app that the US government intelligence deems a security threat, and it gives the president the power to just completely ban the app from US soil. And I can't think of a single other foreign app that has had the United States clutching their pearls since 2021. But to be honest, man, I'm not even sure Biden would remember to ban the app. I'm not even sure he remembers he's president half the time. Mr. President, you have a press conference in 5 minutes. Mr. President, Joe, are you talking to me? This shit again. Your name is Joe Biden. You are president of the United States. If you Google POTUS, your face pops up. Look. Would you look at that? 5 minutes, Mr. President. Oh, wow. Come on, man. Clock's ticking. Why are you in my house? But should this bill be passed, whoever the next guy or gal is in the Oval Office would have the ability to ban TikTok and any other app deemed a threat to the US government. Now, if you used TikTok recently, you may have noticed a notification requesting that you, the user, speak out against this possible ban against their app. And they're being just a bit shady about the whole thing. They're trying to tout this as just a complete breach of the First Amendment rights of United States citizens. I'm honestly just so mad that I'm having to side with the US government. But like, bro, imagine you get home from school one day and the kid that you've been beefing with is just sitting in your living room and your mom tells you that she's the one that let them in and they're just chatting it up. Like, that would be crazy. Nobody wants that. Like, they're just all buddy-buddy and you're just sitting there fuming. Like, that's basically what's happening with this whole thing. And the government has agreed to let TikTok stick around if a US-based or US ally-based company decides to buy out the app from ByteDance. I mean, at the end of the day, TikTok is just another massive app that probably brings in money to the United States in some way, shape, or form. They just don't want it in the hands of their ops. Like, that's pretty much what it boils down to. And while the US is probably one of, if not the largest source of traffic for TikTok, I just don't see any company being stupid enough to let go of it. I mean, like I stated earlier in the video, this app literally took the world by storm. Not only is TikTok itself incredibly popular, but the short form video format is something that almost every major social media app has tried to replicate in some way, shape, or form. You got YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, Twitter tried it for some reason. I mean, ByteDance literally struck gold with this app. They captivated an entire planet pretty much. And I just don't think that's something they or anybody else would be willing to give up. I think the only question really is, if TikTok goes poof, what happens to all the creators and businesses that were made over on that app? I mean, at this point, there's probably hundreds upon thousands of creators that have made like a pretty good living just posting TikToks. Whether that be through brand deals, the TikTok shop, or the creator program, which is basically TikTok's form of monetization. There's just so many people whose lives have changed due to this app and posting content on it that really only works over there. And it's true, we've seen plenty of TikTokers start out on TikTok and then move over to other platforms like Bryce Hall and Vinny Hacker. But those are creators that started out on TikTok when this whole thing really started to pick up. You still have plenty of creators who are just now finding their footing and building some type of audience, and they're just going to be back at square one. Even some of the more established creators that are doing things that really only work over on TikTok, if we're being honest. There's a certain style of content that people have blown up with that really only works on TikTok. Things like green screen memes and Stitch Reacts are things that I only ever really see over on TikTok unless they're posted to another platform such as Twitter. I just don't ever really see them on like other platforms unless it's a reaction by someone who's already like a big established creator, like a streamer or something.
Rude to ask a doll's age? Next.
Goo goo gaga.
Point being, there's not a ton of crossover between the platforms. I see it all the time on Reddit and Twitter. Creators on TikTok kind of struggle to bring their TikTok audience with them over to other platforms. And as I said earlier, it is important for creators to branch out and move their content on as many platforms as possible. But that doesn't mean that these people should be out of a job for their lack of doing so.
And this extra income has allowed me to support myself, build a studio, and pay staff. And then this platform is taken away, then I'm not sure if I'll be able to continue to do that.
And you know, hopefully these guys and gals do start to branch out their content sooner rather than later, because it just doesn't look like TikTok's going to be around for the long haul. Like I said earlier, talks about banning TikTok have been a thing for the past like 3 years. And it just doesn't look like the US is going to stop at trying to ban this app. But I mean, I don't know. Who knows how this thing will play out? Maybe it doesn't get banned. Maybe it does, and YouTube or Instagram Reels just completely takes its place. I can't tell the future. What I do know is that if you don't like and subscribe right now, I didn't script this part. I tried to think of something on the fly, so for right now, this thing is going to show up at your house. Look at that thing. Look at that thing. You want that at your house? I don't think you do. So you better like and subscribe. Leave a comment too while you're at it. I'm serious. This thing's going to show up at your house. This is not a drill. I'm 100% serious. Watch another video while you're at it. This thing, this weird thing is going to show up. And I don't know, do whatever he does. I don't know what it is. He's going to do something. Bye.